Hallihallo Leute und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Honkai Star Rail. Boah. Ich glaube, da drüben ist auch nichts, oder? Nee.
Wait, don't move. Oh, I get chills just looking at the space station monitors now. Let me investigate first. Just perfect. Not only did she shut off all the access logs, she shut off all the terminal transmissions too. I thought it was the Legion that did this. Oh, this wouldn't have been a high priority issue. The space station's to-do list is ridiculously long at this point. I am curious though. She paused the terminal transmissions, but didn't touch the local data at all. I really don't get her. As a Stellaron hunter, she leaves the Stellaron behind. As a hacker, she doesn't delete the local log. There's an external port here. I'm gonna plug in and take a look. Relax, friend. I've done this a million times. Look at this agreement.
Wie du befürchtet hast, leuchtet ein Lichtstrahl auf und die Gegner erscheinen.
By the order of the Ten Lords, execute the Marastruck! Time to twirl!
Okay. Haben wir schon erledigt.
See? I was right. There was something fishy about the local data she left behind. Now we can browse through the Curio access logs.
Mit uns fühlt er sich stark, wa? Weil sonst wird er keine so große Fresse haben.
Seem to have ever
Der
left the
Bastard.
space station. From the way things look, yes. The records show that this curio was last sent to Madame Herta's office, and then it disappeared? I'm seriously confused. What did she come here for? She wouldn't have put the graffiti up just to mess with us, would she? No, if I start thinking like that, I may as well give up now. I have to fully investigate every lead, or I'll really be out of a job.
That's not gonna happen. I'll say it again. I don't care what Runmei said to you, but there's no chance we're shutting down this simulated universe.
Herta, I've made my decision. Question. What have we invested into this project? Hundreds of system hours, the resources of an entire planet, and the most advanced technology in the entire universe. And what have we gotten in return? Unknowns, confusion, and a series of errors. In the beginning, we defined the simulated universe as a miniature world that could be used to discover the traces of the eons. But now, it's become something far removed from its original purpose.
This simulated universe is bound to make errors. You said that yourself, and that's exactly what we're experiencing. Why is that a problem all of a sudden?
I adore the vast amount of knowledge, but I cannot accept that the simulated universe remains simply a pending contract waiting to be attended to. Herta, think about it. How many surprises has this project given you? And how many disappointments has it given you?
The simulated universe never disappointed me. You are what disappoints me, Scroolum. Do you really think of yourself as someone so exceptionally amazing? Right now, you're more like someone from the Nitwit Society.
Herta, I don't mean to question you, nor do I want to deny the hard work you've put forth for the simulated universe. I just want to give more room for knowledge and inspiration to grow freely.
That's enough. Leave if you don't want to be part of this. Go tell the other two yourself. Oh, and take your tech with you. I don't need it. I can go find Adrian Taylor, or the red-nosed old man from Epsilon, or even the Intelligentsia Guild. At least they won't quit halfway. Ugh. Scroolum, we've known each other for a long time. You're nothing but a piece of ice-cold metal.
Da 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 da.
My apologies, madam. This all started with me. I was the one that brought up the request to end our academic collaboration. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Herta or the project. The simulated universe is a great experiment, and Herta is a true genius. However, we have our differences when it comes down to our long-term vision for the future. These differences will often manifest into bias, and bias will get in the way of the formulation of knowledge. Deep down, I want to continue to believe in Herta. The question is whether one should end a collaboration that no longer holds true. At one point, I should end it immediately. Are you worried about her mental state? Thank you for the humor. It is good for tense moments like these. The emotions of organic life are like tides. It is my fault for not noticing the trajectory of the moon. Let Herta be alone for a while, so she can calm her emotions. It'll be beneficial for our negotiations later as well. As for the simulated universe, if that's the reason you're here, maybe I can help in answering your questions. Search. Bonfire in the depths of the woods. A lone stone sword points to the stars. Punk Lord mentality. That is no ordinary curio, my friend. That is a love letter a Galaxy Ranger has written for the universe. Young madam, how much do you know about Punk Lord? It is a planet made of data and symbols. The edges of reality and illusion are blurred in Punk Lord, as are its days and nights. An ether cartridge is a chip that Punklordian hackers use to edit reality. The ways through which a hacker perceives and modifies the world are recorded on the chip. It's a recording of the hacker's life and proof of their existence. The one on the space station belonged to someone truly legendary. He became a Galaxy Ranger by accident and spent many long years traveling among the stars. He encountered countless fascinating individuals and saw wonders witnessed by few. Many of the records and details recorded therein are beyond the knowledge of even the IPC and the Intelligentsia Guild. That is why it became part of the masses of calculation data for the simulated universe. Yes, no need to worry, my friend. The cartridge has never left the space station. It's, as I said, it is a very important reference for the simulated universe. That is why its data has been extracted and added to the calculations of the universe model. Herta was probably impulsive and added the cartridge into the simulation without telling anyone, resulting in the item being listed as lost. I understand your concern. If the individual in question did indeed try to hack into Herta's office, then the simulated universe is undoubtedly her next target. As such, please allow me to offer my limited abilities to assist you with your investigation, madam. As you already know, the simulated universe will be shut down temporarily. It will remain shut until Herta and I come to a clear conclusion. Yes, this is the last chance to investigate the cartridge data. By way of apology for shutting down the simulated universe, I will use my abilities in the universe to provide you with what assistance I can. This is my recommendation. Please take your time to consider it.
Did you hear that? I was so scared I couldn't utter a single word. The simulated universe? Shut down? That's Madame Herta's biggest project. I can't imagine how mad she'd be if it fell through. Wait, this isn't my fault, is it? If I'd been able to stop the enemy's invasion, would Mr. Screw'em be less pessimistic? A bit harsh, but you're right. This is terrible. I feel like I'm incapable of doing anything. Still, beating myself up all the time won't help either. We're here for the cartridge. At the very least, we must try and see this thing through. Having heard what Mr. Screw'em said, you're entering the simulated universe to continue the investigation, aren't you? I'm afraid I won't be able to accompany you. I'll be helping Mr. Screw'em monitor the system's internal data flow from the office. Ugh, I'm so nervous. This is the first time I've been involved in something so big. Anyway, I'll be cheering for you.
Well, madam, are you ready? Please, ask away. I welcome all forms of curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. Yes, there are other concerns besides those I've mentioned. I believe that the miracles inside the simulated universe have the right to grow and develop organically. The will of others shouldn't be imposed upon it, just like in the actual universe. The more Herta tries, the further she moves away from the universe that she had hoped for. Conclusion: the endless iterations of the simulated universe are wearing down her talents, day by day. I hope to free my dear friend from it. Nevertheless, I must also clarify that this is my opinion alone. You should form your own judgment on Herta, young madam. They are a group that carries a balance scale with them at all times. They believe all the justice in the universe needs to be achieved through individual deeds. That was the most suitable way of describing the Galaxy Rangers in my interpretation. They are directed by the path of the hunt and are always accompanied by song and the sound of horns. They pursue justice for the individuals and groups they encounter along the way, and shower them with splendid wines and poems. However, all stories come to an end, just as they disappeared from the spotlight long ago. There is a group of life forms there that know nothing of fatigue. They are attempting to touch upon the umbilical cord of the truth. They are compiling the languages, thoughts, and even emotions of the entire planet into symbols that even inorganic life forms can understand. You see, in the vast sea of data, life exists only in one form: a line of code. Whether it's a butterfly, a whale, or even you, The length of that line of code dictates the boundaries of what the entity entails. Please, it's only a metaphor. Very well. Get going we shall. I will be sending you into the simulated universe using an alternative method. It might feel a little different than usual. This will help us quickly locate the cartridge in the vast sea of data. We'll start with this data link. Now, please prepare yourself for a deep dive with your consciousness.
Yay. Dann brauchen wir Stelle natürlich. Wir brauchen dich. Ups. Ja, ich könnte jetzt nicht meine Ding ausleihen. Meine Seele, aber ja, wäre auch ein bisschen zu krass. Dann nehmen wir sie mit. Du verspürst eine Welle der völligen Schwerelosigkeit, die durch die Beherrschung über deine Gliedmaßen verlierst. In einem...
Madam, are you all right? You are now inside the data link of the Ether cartridge. Look around and tell me what you discover. Hacker? Oh. Conclusion. That is a holographic record that the simulated universe has created. In here, regardless of how large or small, all variables are saved, including outsider traces. You were right. The enemy's invasion has spread to the deepest parts of the simulated universe. They were only a hair away from the Ether cartridge's data link. What we are seeing are the projections of what happened in those moments. Young madam, please stay still. Allow me to see what I can do with this record.
Hey, you! Why are you staring at me?
I initiated the simulation flow. This is just a record of the past. She's not actually talking to you. Please listen and don't interrupt her. We may be able to find out more of what we need to know.
First off, I'm not obsessed with it. On Punklord, the stories of the cartridge are no different from textbooks. I'm not interested in something that everybody already knows about. Secondly, it's not some kind of video game cartridge. It's an Ether cartridge. It's the second pair of eyes, second brain, and second heart of the hacker. Do you understand what that actually means? With that cartridge, if a guy went to a movie premiere and bought some mixed popcorn, you'd be able to know the flavor of the fourth kernel he picked out of the bucket. It's truly amazing.
For quite some time now, just to see you